You're listening to the City World Radio Network. High-definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
Chirp about it. Yeah. Wanna know what's on your mind? Yeah. I chirp about it. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. with Patrick Saintville.
Ooh. Yeah, baby. Chirp About It is. Good evening, New York City. Greetings to the world. Yep, you're tuned in to Chirp About It Live, and I am your host, Pat Saintville. We're broadcasting on the City World Radio Network in the great city of Manhattan, folks. Great city. Of course, that great intro you just heard was by my younger little brother, Mr. Ian Bamberger.
Ah, thank you, sir.
The talented one. Oh, yeah. I love that intro. I got to tell you, last week you and Marlene just rocked. This intro. And this, folks, also, this intro is written by Mr. Ian Bamberger, just so you know. So, without further ado, we have a spectacular show for you this evening. We, in fact, have two guests who will be on. First guest, he goes by the name of DeMar Tyson. In fact, he's the founder and owner and chief editor of a lovely magazine called Urban Life News Magazine. Welcome, Tyson.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. We also have his partner here, Mr. W.T. Ori, back in the house. That's right. Oh, yeah, we have a very good friend of mine. He hasn't been here on the show for a while, but he's back. Mr. Sidney Fratelli in the house. Yeah, and we also have another gentleman who I haven't worked with in a while, but he's special. I kicked off the show, Chirp About It, 2 years ago with Mr. Preston. Back in the house. Preston!
Yay!
Yeah, I love it. All right, we also, so Mr. Tyson will be our first guest, and we also have a second guest who will be calling in later on onto the show from Italy, okay? From Italy, he'll be calling in, and he goes by the name of Carlo Zarati, all right? He's a film director. So, folks, sit tight. We're going to hear a lot from both gentlemen in just a little bit. With that, I'll just cover some local topics, and then we'll do our round of chirps, take a break by Mr. Ian Bamberger, and then come back, speak with our interesting, lovely guests. Mainly, that's it. All right. Also, if you'd like to call in with your chirps or your New York moments, call 646-690-2976. 646-690-2976. All right. I'm going to start with the weather. This weather sucks.
Yeah, it's cold, man. It's cold.
It's freaking cold outside. Yesterday forget about it.
Yesterday it was cold.
If you're in the New York area, forget about it. Really, really, really bad. Brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with snow.
Yeah.
I love snow.
Oh, we didn't get any snow.
We didn't get any snow. Just brutal cold.
Yeah,
but over the weekend, rain.
It was bad.
It was wet.
Bad. Unfortunately, yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, which is great. Hand clap for this man. Brother. I love that man. Love him. MLK. So I'm really happy about that. Too bad we were not on the air, but we're here to celebrate today. It's unfortunate that, these NYCHA residents in Queens, Long Island City, over 10,000 were without heat and hot water yesterday.
What?
And this brutal, it was freezing. Can you imagine not having hot water or heat inside of your home?
I can. I grew up as a young teen with no running water in my house. True story.
Yeah.
I joined the wrestling program because they had showers. I developed acne on my back, and I didn't know why. They called me Pimple Back. Because I never washed back there.
Yeah, it's really sad. So I really feel bad for those people. They were boiling water, as you just mentioned. They were close to heaters. I've seen these photos of these people. And it's just horrific. It's really heartbreaking to see.
How did this happen?
Stuff. I don't know. But, the city's been having a problem with NYCHA for a while now.
Yeah.
First it was the lead, and going back and forth with de Blasio and so on. Who knows? Yeah. It's one thing
There were
after
city-owned
another.
buildings?
Huh?
There were city-owned buildings?
Yeah, NYCHA, yeah. They're city-owned buildings. And for some reason, things like this happen. So.
And then people complain money for a wall, right? Put money somewhere else to help a lot of people.
There you go.
Instead of just
you're absolutely right about
getting
that.
Your way.
You're absolutely right about that.
Talk about Trump.
Now,
there's some local issues that where you can put the money at before you put it in someplace else, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely is. It was a major concern of mine yesterday with the temperature dropping and the people who living in the streets and unfortunate enough to have housing or a place to stay, and particularly people who are in those situations with children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know there was a lot of situations, and I don't want to say. Can you hear me?
Want to turn up his mic?
No, just project.
Excuse me. We good now? Yeah. Yeah, but children, children in those situations where their parents are in the homeless type situation and the cold. That's you can take something off if it's too hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can take something off if it's too hot, but if it's too cold, you know, it's a little bit rough.
It's rough. Yeah. You got to leave on your skin, and that's it. That's all you have. Yeah. It's just the shirt on your back and your skin. It sucks. Speaking of, I guess, money or businesses or organizations that are strapped for cash, MTA. Last week, they've been Andrew Cuomo. Sorry about that. Been going back and forth with elected officials about this L train thing, situation again, Ian. So a couple of days ago, deal was finalized. Now again, the MTA is bringing on another third party to revisit this tunnel situation again. So nothing's really out in the clear at this point. And we're close to we're at the end of January.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what's happening. I think this L train situation is coming for a full 15 months. That's what I really
No L
suspect.
train for 15 months.
I hope not. Let's see what happens. But this back and forth situation within the past 2 or 3 weeks, it's just crazy. And on top of that, we're expecting fare hikes. On top of everything else, bad service and everything else, we're expecting they're jacking up the fare again
to pay for the repairs.
Go figure, huh?
Yeah, okay.
It's just crazy, Actually, the regular single fare, from $2.75, should be going up to $3. The unlimited rides, which is at $32, would be going up to $33. And then I guess they give you a break on the 30-day Metro card, which the unlimited, which probably goes down to about $100, and that's the monthly. It goes down to $126 or something like that from $132. Okay. So I guess you benefit.
But there is a sidebar to that also. I believe that there's a program they're instituting for low income, where the cards, the metros, or the service will be cut in half, and I believe that they're running a pilot program as we speak now.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully let's see what happens. That was very interesting. I don't know if it's interesting to you guys, but I like to read all of these headlines, and I found this to be on a sort of lighter note. Innocent women cannot sit alone at a famed or high-end quote-unquote restaurant bars. Do you know why? Because anyone want to guess why?
Is this a joke or a serious thing?
Women, this is serious.
Jump in. Innocent women.
He said on a lighter note, and he got us all scared.
Women.
Word up.
Well, that's what the headline wrote. Innocent
careful.
Women.
This is the Me Too era.
Beautiful. I guess if you're single, because who's beautiful too? Who knows? So if single women are not allowed to sit alone at certain bars, high-end restaurants.
Oh, I know why.
All right,
they probably think that they're rendering services.
There you go. Yeah. So there's a restaurant on the Upper East Side called Nello's. I've been to Nello's. Very expensive. This place, in fact, they sell a dish, a truffle pasta dish for $275. Nello's. A lot of big shots, high rollers hang out at this place. So new rule by Mr. Nello is that no single female can sit alone at the bar. So there's this young lady who works between London and New York, and she feels that it's just being discriminated on because a couple of weeks ago she was at the bar and she was not served at the bar. She was asked to sit at a table. Meanwhile, there's a gentleman sitting alone who was allowed to sit at the bar. So what's your take on that, gentlemen? Anything?
They must have a problem with it to begin with.
Well, obviously, there's a big problem.
So there's definitely some gold diggers coming in
all
there
the time. You know,
there has to be something that caused that. I'm still waiting for the punchline. You said on the lighter note, and I don't even.
Well,
is it serious that a person who's spending their money in any type of establishment don't have the right to sit by themselves or not?
Right.
Whether it be a single man or a single woman.
Right.
I don't know, unless, like the gentleman said, something happened that caused that rule to be implemented because there was some excessive something going on.
But can you legally do that? You can't. You can't be like women can't.
I don't know if you can legally.
Well, I guess if you
do it, but maybe if you own the place,
that's what I was about to say.
Rules of the establishment in place. I'm not saying whether it's bad or good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sounds like I'm still waiting for you to say something. No,
I just wanted to guess.
I'm just still waiting for the joke because that sounds crazy.
Well, that's why I brought it up. That's why
he's working out of his establishment and he's just scared to say you can't work out of here no more. He put a rule in place. I don't know.
It's crazy. Well, it's not a joke. It's really it's true.
I was saying isn't that similar to turning people away, like certain businesses turning people away just because of their attire, or like no jeans or no, do-rags or hoodies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I feel some kind of way about that. No,
I don't know if it goes the same with gender.
Mm-hmm. With gender. Yeah, no, but the same sort of practice.
The essence of it is discriminatory, you're saying? Using something to stop a certain type of people from frequenting the spot,
Right.
Well, I'd like to look at it through a paradigm shift. I think it's a matter of economics because I believe that there are more men that are involved with the sex trade as opposed to women. So if you cut the women out, there's more money available for the men to sit at the bar by themselves to be approached.
Very interesting.
It may seem like it's down low in the closet, but it's a new era, it's a new world, and they're getting that money also. So it's a matter of economics. So they're trying to cut them out the picture.
Cut them out the picture.
There
you go.
Like rent boys.
What do you say, Mr. Frechelli? What's your take on that? What's your chirp on that?
I don't know what that's saying about the owner of the establishment.
Some more men in there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's this young lady's complaining about discrimination, which we all kind of sense it in some form of way.
$270 pasta.
Yeah,
I complain about
Nello. Yeah,
I can imagine what the drinks are.
Well, maybe someday we'll all head over to Nello's and have a drink.
Absolutely,
we'll figure
you've been
out.
there before, so I assume you're treated.
You know the layout.
No question. I'll just cover one other topic. I know Ian will probably will join this because you're a sports man. Patriots won.
The
Patriots they won. Well, they didn't. They won enough to make it to the Super Bowl.
Back in the Super Bowl.
I'm not a sports guy, so
the Patriots beat.
They played.
They beat the young kid, the freshman quarterback.
What's his name?
The MVP candidate.
Can you believe that?
God.
Yeah.
What was the score?
And let me tell you, that was an interesting game. It was 30.
It was a tough game. Oh my.
Yeah, it was 34-30 to be exact. 34, and that game I watched it, and I'm not a football guy or a fan, but interesting game, man. Interesting game.
Let me tell you, who said it the best? Who was the coach of the Detroit Bad Boys back in the day? Go back to the late 80s.
The Pistons?
Yeah, the Pistons.
Oh, gosh.
When Rodman was on there?
Come on, guys. I'm not the only one over 50 here.
Maybe you are.
Somebody call me with the answer.
We're all young in here.
Daly. I believe it was Daly, something like that.
Chuck
he
Daly?
said, was it Chuck? There you go. There you go. I believe he said they were struggling one time. He said, it doesn't matter. The true champions show up in the playoffs. And the Patriots just have that consistency.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've had that, with Tom
combo.
Brady. I mean, listen. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my local topic for the evening. So I think it's about that time to liven up the show and do what we do best. What do you say, Ian?
Oh, we're going to chirp about it all night long.
It's time to give New York City the voice that they've been waiting to hear. All right, folks. These comments you're about to hear are real comments from real New Yorkers, your mothers, your brothers, your sex partners, your train conductors, your whomever. Preston, give us some of that tune.
Oh yeah.
And then we're going to have Mr. Ian Bamberger kick it off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Also, folks, if you'd like to call in live on the show with your chirp, call 646-690-2976. Call in to chirp your New York moments, thoughts, or opinions. With that, Ian Bamberger, take it away.
All right, the first chirp of the night of this week. This is Kevin from the Upper East Side. Kevin says this: you're not a New Yorker until you can go to any part of the city and still know where to find a clean restroom.
Okay.
To go number 2 in.
Oh, wait a minute.
Kevin, poo jokes. That's great. What's up, dude?
What's up with that? All right, I guess. I mean, you're
While-
a New Yorker, you know.
While
where
on
to
the
find
subject
Chirp
of number
About
2, I had a little problem on the way up here. I relieved myself. I thought it was gas, and a sticky substance was between my butt cheeks. Thank God for toilet paper and Clorox.
All right, well, that's your answer to that chirp. Who's the chirper, by the way?
Kevin.
All right, Kevin, thanks for that number 2
that.
chirp. We love him. All right, with that, Mr. Ori, what do you have to chirp about?
Okay, this is from Lenny from the Upper West Side, my part of the hood. Now, as you guys know, either I don't have my glasses or I can't read that well. Lenny says, I just sneezed while standing by an open window and heard my neighbor say, bless ya.
Okay.
Stuck my hand out and waved, thank you.
That's cool.
I get it. All right.
Nice neighbor.
That's a cool one. Thanks for that chirp, Lenny. Keep them coming.
Nice.
That is a nice one. All right, Mr. Tyson, what do you have to chirp about? Welcome, by the way.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I got Ronald from North Carolina.
Ooh.
And Ronald says, I swear, can you hear me? He says, I swear I moved to New York City just to hear people say, word the mother, son.
Oh my God.
He says, authentically speaking, of course. He says he moved all the way from North Carolina just to hear that.
Word to mother, son.
Yeah, word to
mother, son. All right, I
Great
can
way to
dig
waste
that.
money.
I could dig that. Word to mother,
And
son.
for
Yeah.
our listening audience, that means I agree with you.
That's right. That's
Like,
what it
for
means.
real.
What does that mean? That's what it means.
Word, shun.
Word, son. There you go. All right, Ian, what do you have to chirp about?
Justin from Bensonhurst. And Justin says this. It amazes me how there's a whole other world underneath these New York City streets.
Oh.
Hashtag subway, hashtag rats, and hashtag history.
There you go. That's true. A lot of rats, a lot of history under the subway system. No question about it.
And a lot of loose change.
And a lot of loose change. That's right.
So I have a crazy story. I was coming back from a show one night here, on one of our Trip Out shows, and I was transferring at J Street, and I was, just hanging out on the edge of the subway all the way at the end, and there's like several people just in the tunnel.
In
like
the
hanging
tunnel.
out, living, doing the
Oh,
thing.
yes. Yeah, well,
In
that's part of the whole thing.
In the tunnel?
In the
Yeah,
tunnel. Like,
yeah,
so at the edge of the platform, just a bunch of people there. And
Doing them.
Yeah, there's a documentary
The
about that, in
chuds.
fact.
I heard about something like that too for many years. They say what the mole people they call
Yeah.
it. People who live. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm from Long Island, so I believe most
Long Island,
stories,
Strong
yeah,
Island.
Yeah, you already know.
That's right.
So I heard people saying that there's a colony of people.
Yes,
that sounds a
very
little bit
true.
funny saying this being from New York, but there's a colony of people that live underground,
Yeah,
whether
I
it be
think so.
subways or tunnelways, because you got to give some truth to it, because you do see some people who will go down the steps and disappear,
And they disappear.
and I'm not going to see where they came from.
And
I
just
love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you curious, like, oh,
Yeah.
And
where'd
just
he go?
to
Did I
dovetail-
just see that?
And just to dovetail off of Mr. Tyson, they say that most of these mole people favor people from Long Island.
Oh, you know what? Let's get a real look at them all.
I love it. Oh, we have such a great time on the show. All right, who's up for a chirp?
Okay, here we go. Let's try this one.
W.T. Ori.
We got Milton from Forest Hills. Word, shun.
What's up, Milton?
As if there's not enough noise going around in the subway, there are people now in charge of shouting out into loudspeakers. Up right, down left. Hashtag MTA problems.
I get it. All right, you also learn on this show. All right, what is it? Up, right, down, left. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
I've never heard that on the
No,
subway.
I've heard it. Yeah. In fact, I've heard commuter strap handlers mention that. Up, left, down, right.
Well, I thought at
No,
first
am I
I thought
right?
he was talking about the guys that come on the train. Excuse me, I don't want to bother you. And they either sing a song or
Yeah.
they tell you they need
You know
some
what?
items.
Who knows? I mean, these chirps, your imagination can just flow. So it is what it
MTA
is.
problems.
All right, well, thank you for that chirp. We love them. All right, Tyson, what do we have? I will do one more round of chirp, and then we'll take a break by Mr. Ian Bamberger.
All right, we got another chirp from Jason from Murray Hill. This is very current right here. This is very cold appropriate. He says, when you feel your socks slowly slide down inside your winter boots, but it's too damn cold outside to fix them.
Right,
that's when it's really cold. Like they're irritating as hell, but you like, oh man, I can't take.
Has that happened to you? Has that occurred to you?
No,
but it has. I
you
could
feel
dig
some
that.
discomfort.
Yeah,
you're too cold to get it. Yeah.
Like, I'll leave that for later.
Yeah,
all right. Who's the chirper, by the way?
Oh, this is from Jason in Murray Hill.
All right, Jason. Thanks for that chirp. Keep them coming at chirpaboutit.com. All right, Ian. We're gonna do one more chirp.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it.
This is Maxium. I've never heard of that name before. Maxium. You guys heard of that?
Yeah. With Caligula.
Oh yeah.
Maxium or Maximus?
Maximus is Caligula.
No, Maxium.
Maxium.
How you know that movie like that?
Hey, it's a deep movie.
All right. This is Maxium, Queens Woodside, and Maxium says this: how does one have the nerve to carry napkins to avoid touching the handrail, but forget to brush their teeth and is disrespecting me and everyone in this car with their breath? #help. Ooh.
Damn.
Could be halitosis.
Yeah,
Just open up a can of worms.
Yeah,
Could be halitosis.
That's a true chirp right there. What do you say? Anybody on that one?
Yes, true story. I was on the subway one time, and this guy had just ate a onion bagel, and he couldn't decide if he wanted to blow the bagel in my face or his groin or my thigh.
What was he doing?
Whoa.
I don't know. He was doing him and the things he liked to do. So it was just one of those days. I got off the subway, rolled up a newspaper, and threw it at him as I ran up the stairs.
As you ran up the stairs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy, I love
True
it.
story. #only in New York.
Only in New York. That's right. All right, do we have one more New York City voice?
You want to take
before
it, Tyson? Go for it.
All right, Tyson, let's do it.
Any more? This one is a paragraph. I don't know. This
Any more? Nope, is it?
I got a shorter one. All right,
let's do it.
this is from Leonard out of Washington, D.C. I inadvertently work black. I inadvertently wore black every day this week in case 12 years living here didn't solidify it. Pretty sure this officially makes me a New Yorker.
New Yorker.
He ends with a non-New Yorker. I don't know.
All right, yeah, it's this whole thing about New Yorkers wearing black. People who wear black on, New Yorkers,
Okay.
So that's...
I understand it when you say it like, we wearing all black if you're hustling or going hard, and wearing the uniform of being inconspicuous, but
Yeah, well, you know what it is. I think in this crazy big city, people are so pressed for time. Wearing black makes it easy to dress up. Just wear black.
Well, ain't no question.
Black top, black bottom, black shoes.
Yeah,
you get to get going.
like that. That's a good spin on that old black thing.
Don't wear it in Boston. I was in Back Bay one time and picking up a friend, and I knocked on the door, and the woman was like, "How dare you come to my house wearing that black? You hooligan!" and slammed the door in my face.
Well, you know what? And being that you say that real quickly, I have a close friend of mine who owns a Botanica in Brooklyn, and they have a certain lifestyle, right? So I came there wearing all black.
All black, yeah.
And the guy told me that, he said, you can't be wearing all that black in here. That goes against our way of life. You got to wear lighter colors. And I understood what he was saying, but I was like, this is my favorite color.
Right.
I mean, it's my favorite color. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's not a reflection on or a lack of respect for your way of life, but they were serious.
They were serious.
Yeah, you can't come in here with all that black. You're bringing in negative energy.
Oh, jeez.
So, just a little...
That was the place that threw the chicken bones at you?
No comment, New Yorker. Those are my people. I don't know
I love it.
what Mr. Ori's talking about.
All right, folks. Well, that was our round of chirps. Hope you enjoyed. To hear some more live on the show, please go onto my website, chirpaboutit.com. Share your New York moments, thoughts, your opinions. We'd love to hear from you. With that, we're going to take a break by Mr. Ian Bamberger and come back and speak with our interesting guests.
All right, so before I kick it off with this song, just want to announce a few shows coming up. February 7th, I'm hitting WeWork with Archer the Wizard. He was a former guest in the show. March 6th, I'm at the Bitter End, and March 26th, I'm at Pianos upstairs, playing an acoustic gig. I've got some more songs coming out. I just hit the studio last week, and I'll be dropping some new music soon. In the meantime, this is called Love Roulette. It's a cool little jam I wrote. It's a single off my last album.
Ian Bamberger, folks. Chirp About It live.
Cussing, fussing, boozing, fighting, drinking all the moonshine lightning. Pull down the shades, wait and see.
Yeah!
Step out into the night and breathe. Dancing, romancing, taking chances. Joking about the words I've spoken. Life's like one big lottery. Three of a kind, that's for me. I say, red or black, what's your label? Place your cards upon the table. Love roulette, such a gamble. Love roulette, got me in shambles, shambles, yeah. Framing, shaming, who you blaming? Called your bluff before you came in. The chips are down, can't you see? This happens to me constantly. Lying, striving, dying, crying underneath the sky. Ashes are falling all around me. I'm much too fast for you to see. Red or black, what's your label? Place your cards upon the table. Love roulette, such a gamble. Love roulette, got me in shambles, yeah. Woo! Red or black, what's your label? Place your cards upon the table. Love roulette, such a gamble. Love roulette, got me in shambles, shambles, yeah. Cussing, fussing, boozing, fighting, drinking all the moonshine lightning.
All right.
Oh, yeah, folks.
Bravo! Encore! Encore! Word, son!
We'll be right back. Oh.
Hi, folks. This is Ed Lemo. Who is Ed Lemo and why should I listen? Ed Lemo is an attorney that is unique in that he gives consumers good, solid information about the law that will help protect them against irresponsible drivers, landowners, and doctors and hospitals who are negligent and cause you harm. Ed Lemo has been representing individuals against insurance companies since 1984. Ed Lemo limits his practice to accident, injury, and medical malpractice claims. You can find out more about me at my website at www.lemolaw.com. That's www.lemolaw.com, or you can reach me at 646-522-9082. So if you're injured in an accident or a victim of malpractice and you need a trial attorney who has experience in the courtroom and gets results, call Ed Lemo at 646-522-9082, or you can reach me at edwardlemo@yahoo.com. Or you can go to my website for further information, www.lemolaw.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you.
All right, Ed Lemo, personal injury attorney, great one. So please check him out if you're looking, if you're in need of any great personal injury attorney. Please check him out, lemolaw.com. Also, the show is brought to you by Chirpin' Chicken. So for your meal this evening or tomorrow or next week, please go on to chirpinchickens.com. Download their app for a huge discount. Just mention the show, Chirp About It Live. We're also brought to you by Accordia Shipping for all of your shipping needs, from a pencil to a card to a container. Go on to accordiashipping.com. Just mention chirpaboutit.com. Chirp About It Live, I should say, for a huge discount as well. Okay, we also have ZipRecruiter, all right, for great candidates or for your employers looking for great candidates looking for great employers, or great employers looking for great candidates. Go on to ZipRecruiter and just type in ZipRecruiter/Chirp About It Live. All right, for a huge discount. All right, with that, Mr. Ian Bamberger, what an amazing tune that was, huh?
I appreciate it. Love Roulette, yeah, check it out on Spotify. YouTube has the music video, iTunes.
I love it. Oh, my God, great. Speaking of Spotify, you can also check us out, our podcast show, this show even tonight through Spotify and on iHeartRadio. All right, just go into Chirp About It Live. iHeartRadio and Spotify podcast. All right, with that, we're going to turn the mics over to our interesting guests in the house. All right, we have DeMar Tyson. Am I right? Is that correct?
Yeah, DeMar Tyson.
All right, well,
Tyson
welcome.
For sure, just real easy, Tyson.
Tyson. I love it. Well, welcome to Chirp About It.
Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying yourself so far.
Absolutely, having the ball, man. Seriously.
Oh, great.
Or authentically speaking, like our guy said earlier.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was a dope time, dope energy, and the good vibe, and some good music as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what we're trying to be, for the community, for the world, and for everyone. Just guys like us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just who have something to say. And you're here tonight because you have something to say. You have a great magazine, Urban Life News Magazine.
Yes. Urban Life News.
I flipped through some of your pages. I read an article, in fact, because W.T. Ori showed me an article which I read, which I found to be very interesting. Well, why don't you tell us about your magazine? When you got started, and what is it doing for you and the community?
Well, the first issue was published in around 2014, and so from 2014 we managed to publish about 3 issues. And so we went through the stages of trial and error of putting out the first 3 issues, and through a lack of understanding of the media and publishing business, we had to close our first offices down.
Right.
We had to close up shop, lick our wounds, and we repackaged in about 2018, last year.
Great.
And we managed to put out a full year of issues, which was 4 issues. So we never in our mind and in our spirit never stopped putting out issues from 2014 to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And the original concept came when I was doing federal time from 2007 to 2010. And as an older man of 30 plus, I had to figure out what I was going to do to provide a living for my family and myself.
That's right.
And still be kind of connected to, the hip-hop culture, still kind of be cool, if that makes any sense, At 44, I shouldn't be saying that I'm trying to be cool, but the truth is we like to be cool.
We like to be cool, that's right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're a cool brother.
Yeah. I'm not cooler than you. I'm sitting here looking at you saying, you cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, these guys are cool.
What is that place you eat at again?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We all going there. That's a cool place to be. You know what I'm saying? And so Urban Life News Magazine is a cool magazine. It's the place to be. And it's not just a hip-hop magazine. It's a hip-hop culture magazine. And the reason why I make the differentiation between hip-hop music and hip-hop culture is because everybody might not like hip-hop music per se.
Right.
But it's about hip-hop culture, and the culture of hip-hop, meaning it's all-encompassing. It's the music, it's the fashion, it's the clothes, it's the places we eat at, it's the way in which we communicate with one another. It's, for the lack of a better description, a culture within a culture. You call it a subculture.
Right.
And we have customs, and we have methodologies and ways of doing things, ways of rocking our clothes and wearing our hats. And so those are the tools, right, that we utilize to bring people in. Because Urban Life News has a deeper goal in mind, and that's to educate and inspire and demystify the criminal justice system. That's our whole goal. Yeah, the whole goal was, although I wanted to make a living and although I wanted to stay connected to being cool, I saw during my last term of incarceration, because I did 16 years. I did 11 years in New York State, 3.5 years in the feds. So this last stint was really enough. I had enough. It hurt because I was an older man in prison. And so but I looked around at this time and I saw that there was a space, there was a void that needed to be filled in the institutions and in the print world. Because there's a lot of magazines that mainstream America might not be aware of, but they do very well in prison institutions.
Correct.
The Booty magazines, other hip-hop culture magazines, which are all very dope because they paved the way for me to exist.
Correct. Yeah.
But I saw that there was another need for a publication that reaches back in the institutions and bring knowledge and awareness about what's going on in our communities so that these men and women can begin to prepare to return back to society, back to the neighborhoods where they come from as effective products rather than defective products of their environment. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, we're like the Underground Railroad of information. Yes. And by the same token, we like to put topics of mass incarceration. We go over the latest law and legal issues so that the family members who are supporting the inmates can become aware.
Aware, yes.
And it makes it easier for them to support their loved ones who are incarcerated.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Right? So it's not about what they did right or wrong. That's a moral thing. I'm not into morality in terms of what a person did. I'm not judgmental. They've already received their time, and whatever else crime they did against humanity, they have to answer between them and their God. Right? Because I know that anybody can land in that space, whether it be bad or good. So we can't particularly judge. But we can make information, knowledge, and resources available to them in a cool and hip and dope way so that these youth in particular can begin to take heed and make reading cool again.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, beautifully said. A round of applause for you, really. I'm telling you. Yeah, you hit on something. I read about you. I've done my research, and you hit it right on the nail. That's exactly what I suspected. The reason you started the magazine was exactly what you just said, and which is genius, which makes a lot of sense. You can pick up this cool magazine, read about hip hop culture, the fashion, and so on and so forth, and still be educated about certain laws and everything else. Because at some point in time in America, we all know of someone, or maybe even have been incarcerated. So it's good to be enlightened.
True.
And so I think you're doing a wonderful job. And some people sometimes can't even afford an attorney, or your magazine. They can pick up the magazine.
True, and and that's another thing that we try to attack. In every issue, we highlight a different legal issue that's pertinent to someone who is either incarcerated or possibly may end up in a incarceration type situation, some type of encounter with the law. What is illegal search and siege? Right? What to do when you're stopped and frisked unlawfully? How do you process bail? Because men and women need to know these things, and specifically our grandmamas and our girlfriends and our wives. Shout out to my wife who supported me, you know what I'm saying? Made those long bus rides all the way to federal institution in Philadelphia, coming from New York, right? But who supports most people that are incarcerated? Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of times our friends and our people, they fall to the wayside. Yeah. It's our mama, it's our wives, it's our grandmama.
It's the women.
Yeah, it's the women. It's the lady from upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Who knew you since you were young. She come up there, she makes visits. She put a couple dollars in your account so that you can survive. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a moment of clarity. Well, Urban Life News magazines, we have legal issues that are pertinent to this situation. And so they can read it and find out something that they didn't know before. Right? And it makes it a little bit easier to say, okay, now I know what to expect when I go up on this visit.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Ding, ding, ding. That's the key to this your magazine. How can someone find your magazine?
Well, you can the simplest way is on our website, which is www.urbanlifenewsmagazine.com. But I'm supremely active on our Instagram and Facebook, which is the same, Urban Life News, at Urban Life News. And it's the same for Facebook.
Okay.
And we're definitely active on those platforms, Twitter as well, and LinkedIn. You can also click the link in the bio, and if you want to purchase a copy of Urban Life News and send it to someone incarcerated, we'll send it direct to the prisons because we are an official publisher.
I love it.
I'm sorry. We also have a YouTube channel. We're trying to get our followers up on YouTube. That's where we put all our interviews at. All our interviews go up on YouTube. So if you don't have the time to read a copy of Urban Life News magazine, you can just go to YouTube and see the main interview of that particular issue.
And another way to find a copy of his magazine is to get sentenced to Attica Correctional Facility. True story.
I'm gonna try his way first.
Well, I have a degree from Harvard, and I never thought that I would wind up there. So it can happen to anyone. But for 10 years, I worked at law library, and I'm published in several Harvard Law Record articles. And I was like, there's got to be more to this. And magazines have what is called a pass-along life in prison, which simply means that I pass it from my cell to your cell and so forth. So this issue could be in float for 3, 4, 5 years. Wow. In a good magazine, you take care of it, There are other magazines that, when someone passes back to you, there may be sticky substance on it, so you don't want that. But on a serious note, what it really attracted me to this is that I was one of the gentlemen that didn't have a strong support system. So I actually engaged the prison culture, and there's a lot of hip hop going on there. And I'm an older gentleman trying to fit in with the young people.
Yeah.
So the magazine comes along. It's a piece of mail. Mail is the one thing that enlightens you. I was like, oh wow, who's this? And when I saw the name, I was like, I think I know this guy. When I saw the picture, I was like, I know that guy. They're like, you don't know that guy. You've been here for 12 years. You know no one. And sure enough, I reached out to him and told him I'll be getting paroled soon, and told him that I published my own magazine, and he said, let's hook up. So he gave me an opportunity where none else existed, and before you know it, I proved my work ethics, and he made me the associate editor. Shout out to me.
Love it.
And from there, we just go forward. But the most fascinating thing with this issue is that DeMar took a different direction. He wanted to liaison with other communities that share his mission, his mission statement. That he said to me one day that our ships must sail in the same direction. I said, I'm with you.
Love it. Beautiful.
I'm with you.
All right, with that, we're going to hold on to that. We have another caller on the line, another guest. I believe we have Carlo Zarati on the line. Am I correct? From Italy.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
I'm not the only one.
Hello.
I got Sergi Sanchez with me from Barcelona.
Oh, beautiful. Well, hello, gentlemen. I don't know if I should say good morning or good evening to you.
Well, it's quite late. Let's say that it's quite late over here.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you guys stayed up so late to call in onto the show. So welcome to Chirp About It, ladies and gentlemen. We have film directors on the line right now, calling directly from Italy to promote one of your latest films called Wooden Mirror. Am I correct, Carlo?
Yeah, that's correct. Oh. This is an animation we're making, me and my pal, Sergi. I wrote it and Sergi directed it, and it's a great adventure we're getting into. Especially the theme is touching. I don't know how much you know about it.
Oh, please tell us about it. We'd love to hear about your film and the cause behind it.
So it's actually an 11-minute pilot for a series we have wrote, and we will soon be releasing it. But we're very close to finish it, even though we actually will need a little help to get the extra mile that we still need to make. And it's actually a story about gender roles. Mm-hmm. And it tells the story. It's an extremization of how our society works. It's the story of a boy called Hambo who grows up in a society where men and women live separated and have developed into very different societies. Since men spend all the time fighting in an arena, like in a never-ending championship between gladiators, and women just spend all of their time curing men that are wounded and really change the way their society works. So Ambo grows up being destined to become a gladiator, but it doesn't feel like he will do that. I mean, he tries to become a nurse, but can't do that either. So he ends up split, like the society he grows up into. So this is a bit what we are exploring, and we're really excited to see how people would react to it.
No, it's a very interesting concept and story. I watched some of your trailers, which, I found it a little bit funny in a way to watch it. It's a cartoon, by the way, folks. So you got to check it out. It's a cartoon, and I thought it was a very interesting story, and I thought it would make a great concept for this evening because we're all talking about it's diversity. This is what we're looking to enforce here, diversity. And that's what I suspect you're doing, Sergio and Carlo, with your film. Now, you're looking for extra help through Kickstarter, am I correct?
Yeah, we will soon be launching a campaign at the end of the month. In a month, at the beginning of end of February, beginning of March, we will be starting a campaign. But for now, just by reaching our website, a lot of people can get to have a sneak peek into the world that we're building, like this old, fresh, new world that we're making. Yeah. And then get to leave their email if they want to stay updated and stay with us as we develop, as we get closer to the campaign. So it's also you get to see some of the material that we're making. So So it's still very fresh. It's coming straight out of the furnace, but it's nice to witness that.
No, I like the cause. You're fighting gender role stereotyping, which is, again, the times call for something like this. Does anyone have a question for Carlo or Sergi on the panel?
Yeah, Carlo, when is this being released?
We actually we're submitting it already to festivals, and we're hoping that somebody would get back to us. So we are quite close, but I would say we would probably finish by April. So if any festival is going to get it, we'll send it to festivals. Otherwise, we'll just boom it out on the internet. We'll just throw it out there and see how it moves.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, have you worked on other projects before?
Oh, well, Sergi is the director on this, and he really is the master at animation. So he's done several international projects. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can you hear us, Sergi?
Sergi?
I'm afraid I did.
Oh, he cannot hear us?
No.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi, the engineer.
I don't know.
Do you guys remember? Oh, sorry.
I can get into, but so Sergi made several animation projects, and I myself am more of a film, like a live action guy. Mm-hmm. I got my neighbors knocking on my walls to shut me up.
What time is it there?
It's 2:45. 2:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now I am actually in my bathroom. I hope they won't be bothered. And
that's some bold neighbors.
Oh yeah.
You been banging on nobody wall at 2:30 in the morning in New York.
Carlo, is it? Yeah. Carlo, correct?
Carlo, yes.
Yeah. Carlo, you said that you're doing the Kickstart to look for financing and funding to continue the project. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're very close to end the post-production, but we really can get to the end of it. We at a very small goal to get to. Is just 5,000 euros, which is about like $6,000. But because we're 40 artists from all over the world participating in this project, and we've put all our energies into it, but post-production now really needs us to put some money in it.
Okay, and do you have a pen and paper, or you're going to listen to this recording when we finish? Because I have a suggestion that can assist you financially. Are you ready? You have your pen and paper? Carlo, are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
It's called the Foundation Center. It's a worldwide organization, and me and Tyson have had great success looking for information and getting funding for our projects and things we want to do. So they're a big supporter of the arts, and the films is one of the leading contenders. So I highly suggest that you go online, look them up, the Foundation Center, thefoundationcenter.org. or .com. Don't quote me on that. But they have the resources available to further your project, to bring it to fruition. I believe there's a service fee to download it in Italy, but it's well worth it. It's a wise investment.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I have a question as well. Was the animator, was he influenced by the great Italian animator Bruno Bozzetto?
Totally. I just wish I could get Sergi. I would love him to answer, but he totally has been influenced by it, and but also many he knows it, but most of the inspiration he has put into the project come from Japanese artists and contemporary American animators. Okay. So, of course, there's a little bit of Pendleton Ward in it, but there's a little bit of Miyazaki. Like, most of the inspirations he put into it really come from diverse styles, and as far as Japan and the U.S. So there's a strange blend in it. There are some very classical approaches in the painting of the backgrounds. So, for example, those would feel very old school. They look a bit, they look like water paint. So, whereas the actual characters are very clean and sharp, so very contemporary, very crisp. So the blending of these two styles, it's a unique style. Sergi has been amazing also in designing the characters, which are very, they're very sensual, especially the women. He managed to make them sensual without being sexy. There's a certain power and energy in the shape of the characters. I hear my neighbors knocking everywhere around me.
Oh, no.
All right, well, we're going to let you run, Carlo. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for calling in, and I'll send you an email where we can set something up for another show, another future show for you and Sergi to be on call.
Awesome. Fantastic. We'll be very happy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling, Carlo. Please support his project through Kickstarter, and please use the information that Mr. Ori just mentioned to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you, Carlo.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Great. All right, that was Mr. Carlo Zoretti, straight from Italy. Huh?
I was there.
I tell you, we get around the show, but that's the keys to get around to not only remain in New York but globally. So with that, Preston, how much more minutes do we have? 4? All right, good. All right, well, let's remain to have a discussion. Well,
let me get a plug
magazine. Yeah.
I'll be performing Tradition with the Band of Thieves Monday night at Club Vale on 50th and 12th. However, I'm performing at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club Thursday night, 8 p.m. Come see me, shout me out, WT Ori. And also Friday at the Broadway Comedy Club on 53rd. WT Ori. You get a discount or a drink on me.
All right.
8
you
o'clock.
got a drink at Nello's on Ori.
Oh!
I'm in for that.
Oh, man, I talked too soon.
All right, well, good. Tyson, do you have anything else you'd like to add on about your magazine before we close out?
I'm never at a loss.
Feel free to chirp about it.
I'm never at a loss for words, man. But this was such a dope evening, and I believe that I may have touched on most of the things that I wanted to touch on tonight. But I definitely want to say follow. I need to get the followers up, because the more followers we got, the more we can spread the word about Urban Life News Magazine. We are here to stay. We represent the people. We are the definitive voice of the people who are incarcerated, and we want to give them a platform to reach back into their communities to be heard. All organizations that all people who have a prison-based business, mass incarceration, mass bailout, you name it, contact me. You can find me on all media platforms, Urban Life News Magazine. Follow us on Instagram at Urban Life News. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Urban Life News Magazine, Twitter, and Facebook. And also, I want to thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'd like to thank you very much for the work that you started and you're doing, and you will continue. As you said, you're here for a long period of time.
Definitely, brother.
I love it. Strong stuff, brother.
Thank
and you have my support. You have the show support, no question.
I appreciate it.
All right,
man.
WT Ori. This man made things happen so far. I mean, it's just amazing. You'll get to hear the story in a little bit, huh?
Let's build.
I have to thank you very much, my brother. You're great. You're a very big supporter, no question about it. Sidney Fratelli, haven't said much, but I know you love the show and you're here to support, no question, my brother. And of course, my younger little brother, Ian Bamberger, who's also my partner on the show. Man is always with me. You rock, my man. Great music, great everything. I can't complain.
Thank you.
And we also have Preston, who always keeps things together. Remember those words, Preston?
Yes. I got to throw in the plug for myself. Tune in every Friday right here, 6 p.m. on City World Radio Network for my show, Ever Funkin' On. If you love funk, my show is the show to check out. All right, I play all the jams from past, present, and future. I don't know what I'll be doing this week, but I'm whatever it is, it's got to be funky. So definitely check out Ever Funkin' On every Friday.
All right, folks, that was our episode of Chirp About It Live. Hope you enjoyed. Please come back, same time, same place next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. City World Radio Network. Chirp About It Live.
If you served honorably in our nation's armed forces and you're looking for a way to continue serving your fellow veterans in your community, then join AMVETS. Each year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve the lives of their fellow veterans through the VA Voluntary Services Program. AMVETS posts and departments also participate in a wide variety of community service projects, ranging from Americanism in our schools to supporting the Special Olympics and Boy Scouts of America. If you no longer wear the uniform today, you can still serve through the AMVETS by